I let flat earthers talk to the head of NASA.
This is me showing the head of NASA something that the leader of the Flat Earth Society sent me.
It's like a hand-drawn third-grade image of a flat Earth with a turtle holding the planet up. So tell me, since you're the head of NASA, what do you think about this? It's like made with crayon. It's like him drawing it like this.
Obviously, I see that. I'm like, I don't want to show that to you, but here I am. I guess I'm doing it. You're the head of NASA. What's going on?
Because using my connections with both the scientific genius...
I feel like we've seen this guy before. I feel like we've seen this guy before. Because I knew y'all were going to start saying that shit. I know, because right when I saw his face, I was like, nah, I remember the shit my chat was saying.
...and conspiracy theorists of the world, I'm allowing flat...
I gotta lock in, bro. Stop saying all... Yeah, he's all ears. I can't. That's like mean, bro. That's mean.
...earthers to get their conspiracies answered by the head of NASA himself, Jared Isaacman. The man who led the first ever SpaceX mission, performed the first spacewalk ever by a civilian, and now that he's the head of NASA, promises to return America to the moon in the next 2 years. In the first conspiracy...
Like to live on the moon? Like, what do they mean return to the moon? Like, yeah, we're gonna have like an actual space station, but docked there.
Flat Earthers wanted addressed was the original moon landings.
If you look at Apollo 9, 11, and 12.
Oh, this guy's just a fucking jackass, dude. I mean, every time you hear about flat earthers, you hear about this dude, and he goes to these conventions, he's like, oh, you could tell these images are just totally like fabricated. Like, none of this is real. Have you ever been in a plane? Like, I'm so shocked that nobody's offered, like, he's been doing this LARP for like 15, I know he's not a LARPer, but it's like, he's been doing this shit for like 15 years, right? I feel like there has to be somebody that's like, yo, since you're the head of this group, we'll pay for you to go up there, confirm that the Earth isn't flat, and then come back down. Not to space, but like, what, you know, when you could take like one of those really like high air balloon flights or something, like some shit Red Bull would do. They pay a shitload of money. They give it, you know, $1 million, fucking send him up there. And then he just goes, everybody shut up. It's content piece. They could still just lie. Yeah, but he wouldn't be able to. You think he would lie? There's no way he would grift beyond that point. You think they'd send his ass up there with a camera too, so they could film him seeing the round Earth. And then for him to come back down and go, yeah, that shit was flat. That's some Among Us imposter level lies. That would be appalling to see shit like that. He gets up there, sees the Earth is round, goes, oh, damn. Comes back down. Yeah, that shit was fake, bro. I think they knocked me out before and then seamlessly transitioned it like it was a perfect TikTok transition. And they convinced me I was going up in space to see the round Earth. But in reality, I was in a CIA torture chamber room, depleted of my natural senses so they could manipulate my mind into thinking that I saw a round Earth. That's the type of shit they'd say.
Jared was prepared to defend them.
I thought I'd bring a couple artifacts.
Ooh.
I'm Jared.
Yes. Nice to officially meet you, Jack.
Fake moon boot. Fake moon rock.
Nice to meet you as well. That is the boot that left the last footprint.
Yeah, too bad that shit's fake. You 3D printed that last night.
Wow. Moon. Gene Cermans on Apollo 17. And that's the rock he brought back with Harrison Jack Smith.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Look, we absolutely did it, but I'm not like the kind of person, like dismissive of the concerns. I get it. We haven't been back in more than a half century. Like, right. I understand.
I think this was probably recorded before the. Well, no. This could have been recorded after they went around the moon. Because we haven't been back, like we didn't put anybody on the moon. And
that people are skeptical, and especially like generations now that grew up with everything in high definition video, like why is it so hard? And the answer is, look, we had 4.5% of discretionary budget. We had a great rival in the Soviet Union. It was a space race. It was another battleground of the Cold War. I get it, you know. Right now we're a quarter.
I mean, that's literally the reason. If the government doesn't have a reason to throw money at NASA and say you got to get this done, then they just won't do it. Because they won't have the funds to.
Of the discretionary budget, and we were doing a lot.
Like that's what Neil deGrasse Tyson would say is like, if we wanted to go to Mars right now, we could get up there in 2 years. Like it would cost $1 trillion, but we could do it. Like it's not like, oh, the technology isn't there. It's just like they don't have the staff and the funding to do it. I just went to the doctor. I sat in the waiting room for 15 minutes, got let in, talked to the doctor for 10, and I was out in a total of 30. Nothing really special happened. I'm 24 and it was just a regular checkup. But that's the whole point of going to the doctor, is to make sure that things aren't going wrong. And if they are, you catch them early. And that is where ZocDoc, the sponsor of today's video, helps you find the doctors you need. Scheduling a doctor's appointment can be a real pain. You might not have a lot of time on your hands. You might not know what doctor you want to go to, which doctors take your insurance. There's a million problems that prevent people from going to the doctor's appointments they should be going to for their health. And ZocDoc makes all of those problems go away by solving all of them at once, really. All you need to do with ZocDoc is input what type of doctor you want to see, what type of insurance you have, if any, and when you want to go, and it'll give you a list of doctors and appointment times that you can make, usually within 24 to 72 hours. Each doctor also has recent reviews from people that just went, so you can determine whether or not that doctor fits your specific needs over another. ZocDoc's especially great for when you don't know what doctor you need to go to as well. Like if you need to book your first allergist appointment or dermatology appointment or an eye doctor. If you've never gone before, ZocDoc makes it super easy to help find the doctor that you need. They have over 150,000 providers in over 200 specialties in all 50 states. I know it may seem small, but clicking the link in the description is a huge step towards prioritizing your health. Taking care of your health just got easier. Head to ZocDoc.com/Bartolozzi to get started and check that appointment off your to-do list. Thank you to ZocDoc for sponsoring this video. And let's get back into it.
A lot of things to make everybody happy, other than maybe necessarily the most important things we need to do as a space agency, which is to continue.
Why does the flag look like it's waving in the still frame image that you're seeing? It's just, it doesn't make sense. What about the wind? There's no wind in space, so it doesn't really make sense.
There, but all we stand to learn, all we stand to gain from scientific potential, economic.
Lacey was rage baiting, bro. There's no way he believes that shit. I don't know, man. Honestly, maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's a chance.
Economic potential, national security. This is what we are supposed to do, and we're getting back on that foot.
I'm in a lot of Ubers in like Arkansas, filming some random video. And you know, they'll ask me what I do. I'll bring up space and science. And they'll go, you really?
Ooh, and then you hear your Uber driver air the word firmament. So you believe in like that space shit? No, but like the atmosphere is so thick, nothing could actually leave it. I know that's going to be an interesting Uber ride, though. It's going to be a great conversation.
You think they went to the moon? You know, and it's crazy. There was recently a survey that said 30% of Americans are unsure or don't think that the U.S. landed on the moon.
Are you fucking joking? There's 17% of Americans that are unsure. I would venture to say that is somehow worse than saying the moon landing's fake. Like, I would rather you say the moon landing's fake than being like, well, we don't have enough evidence. I can't really call. You know, I'm going to remain, some would say, in the religious sense, agnostic on this specific situation. I'm going to refrain from choosing. What? I would rather you be like, nah, that shit's fake. Be a conspiracy theorist. Than legitimately go, well, I don't really know.
On the moon. That is crazy to me.
Right, so, you know, that boot over there was worn by Gene Cernan.
Can I pick it up?
Please, please.
Oh my gosh. That is terrifying. Okay.
But the flat earthers wanted to know if the moon landing really was real.
You couldn't just put us back on the moon like one time, like.
Right.
Why did they never go back?
So to be very clear, like now.
Why would we? Why would we? It's a fucking rock in space with not that much going on there. There's no war-based reasons to go there, and there's no economic reasons to go there. So why would we spend the money to do it? You know, the craziest shit is, like, I think about this too. It's like a lot of it's just human curiosity too. It's like, but that's not enough to, as a society, go, let's fund this.
NASA knows how to do this, right? I mean, we did it in the 1960s. We knew absolutely nothing about human space exploration, right? And from the time that Alan Shepard went up for his suborbital, spent minutes in space to Neil and Buzz walking on the moon, you're talking about 8 years. We can do the near impossible at NASA. What's happened though, absent competition, is you kind of get comfortable and you try and make everybody happy, and you have a lot of stakeholders. A lot of people love NASA, but they don't really necessarily agree on what is the right direction that we should always be going on. And as a result, we spread ourselves thin and we started to move very slowly, trying to appease everyone, and the end result is you actually don't make anyone happy when you.
Yo, real quick, what is the name of that guy that he flashed that is a flat earther? That dude has a YouTube account. I just want to doom scroll real quick and see what he's doing. Does anybody know the name of that flat earther? Andrew. All right, thanks. Mia Khalifa. All right. Flat Earth Dave, there it is. Go to chatter. Go to chatter. I know that's right, too. Oh, he has a podcast. What if Earth isn't what you've been told? Flat Earth Dave explains. The three-body problem and the heliocentric hypothesis. Flat Earth. Patriots across the pond and friends.
She forced me to look, and I went in trying to debunk it. And here I am, 12 years later, Flat Earth Dave talking to you.
Wow. Yeah, man, I realize we're not going to have near enough time to cover all those topics. So we're going to jump in.
Bro, this is like a level of psychosis now. If you've genuinely made your a big portion of your life about being a flat earther for 12 years. If you haven't actually done if you've been trying to prove that the earth is flat for 12 years, you would have at some point come across something that definitively proves the earth is round. Outside of you just looking into the heliocentric theory, or even knowing that there are people that were able to, mathematically guess the circumference of the earth within a fairly close margin, 4,000 years ago, right? In 12 years, you haven't, yes, you could find things that are suspicious about the moon landing. You could find things that are suspicious about the government. But at some point, you would have come across something that definitively proved the earth is round, that is undeniable. And you just go, nah.
NASA's putting out pictures every day. We've been told there's a globe in every classroom, the whole 9 yards. For someone who's never really looked into this topic, what is the flat earth model in its simplest form that might, that you might be able to explain to somebody that may be new?
Yeah, when you Google flat Earth, Google's going to feed you. Oh, that's not what I wanted to show you, but that's funny poster. You Google flat Earth, this is what you get. This is what they want you to believe. This is two false paradigms of where a disk floating in space, in a heliocentric model. That's what they want you to think. They want you to think that, and then the argument is, are we the only flat planet? The only pizza planet? And you'll dismiss it, and most people do, because flat Earth sounds absolutely ridiculous. Because you're taught a fake heliocentric model.
No, because it's ridiculous. The reason it sounds ridiculous is not because of something; it's because it's ridiculous. That is word for word. Cut off this. We don't need to watch anymore. I'm gonna see what else he says, but it's no, it's not. It sounds ridiculous because, they want you to think it. No, it is.
Before you can have the ability to think, and then you're taught a fake flat Earth model, and you just can't even make sense.
All right, so give me the real flat Earth model here.
Sense of it. But once you understand that we're essentially the floor of creation, right?
Are we gonna get into the water finds its center shit because they have to disprove gravity? Because if you're a flat earther, you have to, if you think the moon, it's not, you could think the moon landing's fake and not be a flat earther, but, there are people that, if you're a flat earther, you also think the moon landing's fake. You think all of the space pictures are fake. You have to think that gravity's not real, at least in the way that it's described, right? You have to tweak it in some way to fit whatever narrative you believe.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, and
it's Neil deGrasse Tyson
and other famous propped up cosmologists will say to think that
Neil deGrasse Tyson and all these other scientists that are apparently astronomers, but in reality funded by Tel Aviv. Realistically, they're just spewing conspiracy theories out over and over again. When you actually look into it, you'll clearly realize the Earth is flat.
We're at the center is arrogant, is very arrogant. That's the word they use. And that's absolutely not true. We are the center of creation. We didn't evolve.
Okay, bro, what is the model then? Show me a picture.
So the flat Earth model, the simplest way to look at it is if this is a top-down view of the world, The North Pole is at the center of our world pond, right? Can you bring me 5 gallons of water without a container?
No.
Right? Water needs to be contained. Well, all of these lands, all of these.
That was the worst fucking point I've ever heard in my entire life. He just said water needs to be contained, so there's like a wall that's holding the water from spilling out. What a fucking cornball. I mean, brother, the reason you need to bring 5 gallons of water without a container, because if you don't have a container, guess where the water goes? To the center of the earth. Guess where the water goes? Gravity pulls it, just like it's pulling your ass right now to the fucking center of the earth. Where do you think you're going when you're falling? Like, what is that? Where are we going? Like, just the ground? Like the ground? Oh, no, we're like a container too.
These islands, all of these continents are higher than the water. Okay, so you have a shoreline. This is the shoreline of our world pond. This is Antarctica. This is Antarctica. And Antarctica is over double the height of the second highest continent in the world.
Okay, double the height of the second highest continent in the world. Another thing that's with this model is like, even if you go like historically, where like people have traveled around certain areas and ended up in other places, would this model immediately just be disproven or no? Like, if you were to look at the ship route that explorers took, would this not literally, like, they'd be in the middle of nowhere. They wouldn't be, like, but they knew, like, those guys knew the Earth was round then, because they were going, no, why do we have to go that way? We could just go all the way around the Earth the other way, right? Like, we could go in a different path. Like, it just doesn't, oh my God, I just don't. So is that Africa? Because so they're saying, like, if there was somebody that went around all the tip of Africa and then all the way through to like South America or North America, they ended up going up instead of just straight to the side. It's just wouldn't the stars also disprove this? Because they're able to navigate based on that?
Turn the hour hand on, the sun moves around once every 24 hours. It goes around.
Yes, but if the sun's going in a perfect round circle like this, how does that change time zone? Not just time zones, like time zones work in this model, but in the sense of like in the summer the sun sets earlier, like it's because Earth tilts on an axis, right? Earth tilts on an axis and we're orbiting around the sun. Like, if the sun's only moving in a circular path like this, we wouldn't have seasons the way that we do, where in the winter the sun sets at 4 p.m. and in the summer it sets at 9. You know, or depending on the country, like Iceland. Like, Iceland literally is 24. I would honestly say it's 24 hours of sunlight in the fucking summer, and then none in the winter at points, or like 4 hours, not even. It's like just like a weird dusk feeling, or dawn, I guess. But like, this doesn't explain that.
So wherever the sun is, it's noon. When it's noon in Sydney, Australia, it's midnight over here. We live in a small. I mean, we live on.
But does he ever explain that? Like, I'm not gonna watch this whole fucking podcast. Does he ever explain that?
I don't think space is a vacuum with a small local sun.
Small. So he thinks the sun. He thinks the sun is tiny, like smaller than Earth.
They think they know everything, but they literally have no science to back it up. They say the sun is 93 million miles away. They have no way to back that up. They say that the radius of the Earth is 3959 miles, but that's been debunked. Everything.
When? I want to be this person. I want to be this guy so bad, because it's just like how much easier life is to just come up with everything yourself and then go, like, whenever somebody tells you something, you go, nah, that's been debunked. No. and you just go on with your day. Like, you just go, nah, that's been debunked. That's not real. And it's like, there's certain parts of my life and your life where that is the case, where motherfuckers just spew lies on social media. And it's like, that's what you do. You go, that's been debunked, right? That's fake, right? But like, he does this with every single counterpoint. He goes, that's been debunked. That's not real.
And they teach us the globe before we have the ability to discern. Like, if I said to you, Billy, I used to be president of the United States. You heard me. Do you remember what I said?
He used to be president of the United States.
And now, how did you remember that? Your conscious mind said, what did he just say? It went to your subconscious memory. He said it was president of the United States. Is that a true statement or a false statement?
False.
Well, did you take the time to verify it?
No.
Well, no need to, right? Because you have enough life experience to say, I don't need to verify that at all. Now, if I told you right now I was in Mexico, you'd be like, is he? I wonder, right? But you might want to verify that if you wanted to prove it, but no need to prove that.
Is he not disproving his own point by saying this factual statement? Because he's saying there's certain things that you just know because of previous knowledge that you've acquired in your life, and that would be the Earth being round. I think he's trying to say that that's how people feel because they've been manipulated by the education system to feel that way.
You have your subconscious mind, which is the memory bank, and you have your...
We're just watching a podcast right now. I'm actually just... I know I'm getting out of this. I'm going back to the video. Well, I'm just watching a podcast right now. I'm just sitting here literally just fucking... sitting here watching an hour-long podcast debating this guy about fucking the Earth being flat.
Try and do it that way. Now, one of the obligations I see in my my job here at NASA is to get all the stakeholders together and communicate kind of the reality of the situation and get everybody aligned in the direction we need to go. So I think we've been very effective at communicating there is another space race. If we do nothing and it's a continuation of the status quo, we will lose. That will be a heavy moment for, I think, the world. You know, when you see the next lander on the moon, and it's not going to be the grainy footage of the United States, it's going to be pretty crystal clear, and then you see an astronaut going down the ladder or elevator, and it's a Chinese technonaut. I think that...
Yeah, and too bad when the Chinese technonaut lands on the moon, the Kool-Aid man breaks out of the wall and goes, oh yeah, because the video's AI.
Sends
the Earth's flat.
A message that something is broken. So we can either wait for that moment to happen, and then wonder what we could have done differently, or we could start doing things differently now. And as a result...
Oh, I can move chat back.
I think our stakeholders have been very responsive and willing to let NASA get back to doing what we know works. And that's why I think you're starting to see some speed, some momentum, and some energy here at NASA.
Let's move on to the next conspiracy flat earthers wanted addressed: NASA's crazy money use. Do they really need to spend $23 million on a toilet, or is that money going somewhere else?
Somebody sent me this, right? It's like we've got this yacht, and we've got an expensive house, and we've got the toilet for $23 million. You know what I mean? And obviously I see that, I'm like,
yeah,
I don't
like you guys are only in space for like 8 days. Why don't you just like poop in Ziploc bags? Why don't you just like, just use a regular toilet?
I don't want to show that to you, but
why don't you just shit in a bag and seal it?
Here I am, I guess I'm doing it. What do you say to things like that? Like, what can NASA do to make things cheaper, you know?
Well, I would say first...
But before I can show you his answer, I want to prove to you why he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, imagine sharding yourself in the middle of the night in zero gravity. Just starts fucking leaking all over the spaceship.
A little bit of like who you are.
Yeah, so I left school at 16 because I hated high school. Started a tech company, which was really just to pay for, you know, pizza and maybe beer on the weekends.
$2 billion.
Waking up on my keyboard and needed a hobby in life, so I guess 6...
Chat, this is what they say, brother. D students are the entrepreneurs, you know? Hey, if you're a D student, you want to drop out of high school, you'll be a billionaire just like this guy.
Years ago or so, I started...
It's a surefire.
Flying airplanes. Never slowed down.
You're gonna go pro in Fortnite. Just keep grinding.
It took me to air shows, world record flights, and then eventually we created this defense aerospace company.
So you gave...
You're gonna go pro. Even though you're in gold 2 right now,
planes to use.
You've got the edits, bro. You just get bad lobbies.
Simulations.
We didn't give them to, we flew them, so it was us.
Oh, you flew them, so they would contract you to fly them.
Yes, and we did it all day long.
You fly yourself places.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I fly business jets, I fly fighter jets. I'm going to lead a formation of like NASA aircraft over for the 4th of July Capitol flyover. Like, I definitely try and stay in the action. And then got an opportunity to lead the first SpaceX mission, and then again in 2024, we did a spacewalk. Now I'm here and I'm working alongside the best and brightest at NASA.
What can NASA do to make things cheaper, you know?
Well, I would say first, NASA, you know, when we're at our best, we are setting our sights on, you know, the most challenging engineering problems possible to solve. And that is typically expensive. It requires like the best and brightest from across the nation. It requires, you know, hardware that's never been built before, facilities to make the hardware that don't exist, testing centers that don't exist. Yes, that's all extremely expensive. Now, what I think is extremely important is when we do have a major breakthrough, where that capability can be handed off to industry and NASA becomes...
Why don't you just poop in a Gatorade cup? Why don't you just, the hole's big enough. I mean, they're there for 3 days. Why, $23 million. Why don't you just poop in a Gatorade bottle? I mean, how big of a shit do you... Instead of hiring all these engineers to make a $23 million toilet, why don't you just give the astronauts, I don't know, maybe a week of training to know how to center the middle of the Gatorade bottle on their butthole?
One customer of many, like launch. Nobody had a reason to put a lot of stuff
and then they quick seal it off, and it's good.
In space before NASA in the 1960s. But now, I mean, you've got
SpaceX and Blue Origin can only exist because of what NASA's
yes,
done.
and now for sure, NASA's a customer, the Department of War is a customer, the intelligence community is a customer, commercial entities are customers.
You see Elon Musk at that red carpet event just making a bunch of weird faces because he was trying to get clipped for a meme.
International customers, other nations launch scientific...
And they're definitely going to be meme images.
...probes and commercial payloads. Great. You hand off launch to industry, and what happens? Costs come down big time because competitive forces do what they do, and the next
thing... You'll see it in a month. There will be somebody that reacts to an image with Elon Musk going...
You got rockets landing on ships.
Show it. Oh my God. We're going to get through like 3 videos today. I let flat... Why am I looking up... the edible's hitting. Hold up. Elon Musk. It's not what I was looking for. The fuck? Oh my God, it's that old of a video. Oh my God, wait, what? I thought this was recent. This was 4 years ago. Get back! What does he do?
And they're being used over and over again. They're now being caught by towers. So that's what you're supposed to do. And then NASA's supposed to, again, recalibrate to do what industry can, which is why we're building nuclear-powered spaceships. As talented and as capable as SpaceX and Blue Origin are and others in industry, I don't think...
I hate people that scream like that. What, like, ah! You hear that shit on a roller coaster. I'm always sitting there, roller coaster, I'm going, oh, fuck. And I'm having a blast. I'm never screaming, though. Do you guys scream on roller coasters? I'll be like, oh, shit. And then we go down the roller coaster. Like, I'll hear somebody behind me, ah! The whole ride. And I'm like, yo, it's not that. I feel like you'd faint if you were that scared. Or maybe it's just like a joyous scream. I'll go, oh, shit. Like on Nitro. Six Flags. And then I almost faint on the swirly part. But like, I'm going, oh, fuck. And then I'm good.
There's an industry. I don't think they should be launching fission reactors anytime soon. I don't think they should be doing it. So that's what NASA should do. And when we get another breakthrough, we hand it off to industry once again, and the process repeats itself.
It's just nonchalant. No, that's lame as well.
At this point, before we got into Conspiracy 3, I decided to tell NASA what I thought they should do to combat conspiracies.
There's just this general distrust in the government, right? Like, people see the Epstein files, things like that. They're like, this is just crazy. The government must, not know what they're doing. They must be lying to us. I'm curious, how much of a priority is it for NASA to try and combat these conspiracies, right? Because to me, it's like I walked in this room, obviously very honored to be here. I see like that on the TV. That's a live feed of the International Space Station right now.
Yes.
And I feel like if that was put on YouTube at all times, I mean, they're already not private because we can see them whenever they walk through there. If that feed was on YouTube, we'd have no more flat earthers, I think, in like a week, because you just can't have people floating around all day long, CGI constantly running. Maybe it's just no use.
No, but they're so ingrained. Like, yeah, you would maybe reverse some of the flat earthers that are like on the cusp, but like Flat Earth Dave would come up with a reason that video's fake. Or he would say that you're in an anti-gravity chamber on Area 51, and this is just to convince people that the Earth is round.
Does NASA even care about these conspiracies, or is it worth their time to try and do things to try and like...
Yeah, it was a pre-filmed 3-day video.
Help the American public understand that, like, yes, this is real, and here's what we're doing, and here's where your tax dollars are actually going.
Well, I would say first, like, to me, there's no greater priority than undertaking and executing the mission. So putting more astronauts in space, returning to the moon, launching great telescopes. But what I also think is a responsibility along the way is inspiring the next generation of engineers, pioneers, astronauts to grow up and contribute to adventure. And that's why you put footage like that out on the internet. And it is, you can log in and like actually see what's going on in the International Space Station. You can listen to our audio loops on it. It's why when we build the moon base, I said, we're putting high definition cameras on everything, every lander, every rover. We're not leaving any doubt this time, okay? We are going to bring the world along for the ride. We're creating a moon base website so you can watch us build the moon base in real time. And I think that's less about combating conspiracies and in my mind, more energizing and engaging the public so they grow up and do it better than we can.
Right, and I think that is the best answer, right? At the end of the day, the best way to combat conspiracies is it's like, okay, just wait, just watch, because pretty soon there's gonna be a moon base and it will be undeniable.
Okay, but conspiracy 3.
I've heard you really hate this topic, and so we'll make it brief, but UFOs, UAPs, obviously the government...
Oh, I don't hate the topic, by the way.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I mean, isn't that like what you would imagine any new NASA administrator, like second day at least on the job, would be like, all right, where's the UFO files?
Yeah, where's the aliens?
So I don't hate the subject.
Fair enough. Well then, let's talk about it for a second.
I love the subject. So does the NASA know anything about you? I can't talk about that. I'm so happy to talk about the UFO subject. So like with David Grush talking about how like, oh, I can't talk about that. I can't talk about that. Sorry. Anything else though?
Second, I think the government, they just released these UAP, UFO.
I can't talk about that.
Files. I've been to Area 51 and all of that. I've investigated this stuff a little bit. When I first heard about UFOs, obviously I've always been a science enthusiast. I love space, all this stuff. I always was like, UFOs. This is total BS. Like this is not. I go to NASA all the time. I make videos there. Like, they're not focused on the UFOs, and the UFOs are very conveniently landing, near the naval, the military bases. You know what I mean, in Las Vegas and stuff. It's like, okay, this it feels like pretty obvious it's not aliens, but a lot of seemingly really credible people are saying that maybe this is actually there's some merit to this. You're the head of NASA. What's going on?
Yeah. So first of all, I'd just say, like, yeah, I can't hate the subject. In fact, I'm incredibly fascinated about it because that is at the heart of what we're trying to do at NASA is answer the question, are we alone, right? We got telescopes that we're launching out there to try and answer that question. Yeah. We got samples on Mars right now. If we bring them back, there is a very high probability that they will point to, at some point, microbial life, at least on Mars. I think there's a very real possibility we're going to arrive at a conclusion in our lifetime that perhaps there's life everywhere out there, and that it isn't as infrequent as we might think it to possibly be. Now, all that said,
I feel like he has to tiptoe around these questions, not because he's hiding anything, but because he knows that whatever he says as the head of NASA will just be twisted in every way possible. It's like just being clipped out of context or something on social media. It's like he has to have like a very specific response because otherwise they're going to just say, oh, nah, he's saying this.
When people think of like UFOs and flying saucers and crash ships and are there alien bodies buried somewhere? No, I have not seen any evidence of that whatsoever on it. I do think of things like the cosmic speed limit is somewhat of a problem for being visited by, intelligent life. And at a time, I mean, you think about our civilization is extremely, young right now, that they could arrive at a time when we happen to be here and doing all these things. So that said, though, I do think that we have captured imagery, and this is what President Trump is very forward-leaning about, that based on the data that we have within that imagery, we don't know what it is.
Right.
And I don't think that should be that surprising anymore in a world, and I've said it, where you got doorbells with doorbell cameras on it, everybody's got a phone, you've got with a camera.
That's what Neil deGrasse Tyson says. If he goes, everybody's got a fucking camera now, why are we not seeing actual good footage of a UFO? Like, we're at a point now where everybody can just casually record in 4K footage on their phone, and people talk about UFO sightings, but every video you ever see about a UFO is in 120p. 120p, or it's just SpaceX fucking satellites in a strip, and people think they're UFOs.
On it, you've got all our military aircraft with tons of sensors on it. You got satellites, lots of sensors, and what's going to happen is...
Like, I think aliens are real, but I don't know if intelligent alien life has visited Earth. The only thing that I could get behind is that there has been maybe alien satellites from millions and millions of years ago that has reached Earth, crashed here, and we've recovered it. That's what I'm more likely to believe than like an actual organic being crash landing on Earth, right? Like, or just landing on Earth and interacting with humans. Like, I don't think that would be the case versus like some sort of satellite that other intelligent alien life sent out a fucking billion years ago. They don't exist anymore, right? They might have been extinct or some other shit, and then that crashed here.
You're just going to capture things that if it was fully instrumented to get telemetry off of, you'd be like, oh, that's a drone, that's a missile, that's a balloon that got, but because you didn't, and you caught it at a weird angle or reflected the sun at a certain point, you're like, that is an unexplained phenomenon. Yeah. And we did keep a lot of that buried in files for a long time, and the president said, why? Put it out there. Like, we don't have time to study it. Let other people tell us what it is. And you're seeing that effort, and you're going to continue to see it. I think there's going to be some really wild things. And I'll tell you, I'm open-minded to it. If it's, is it maybe a Sputnik moment and one of our adversaries pioneered a new capability in a world of AI and additive manufacturing? Is it possible you could have breakthroughs like that? Sure. We had the Sputnik moment for a reason, and NASA did very well, by the way, during that time period. Yeah. So I'm all about it, because you never know.
Glaze.
Maybe we have a new Sputnik moment, and we've got to pioneer some new advanced technology or propulsion capability or something.
Yeah, I think as NASA's doing more launches, doing more missions in space, obviously people are so interested in the UFOs, the UAPs, what it is that they might find in space. I'm curious, would NASA ever consider, now that time and real estate in space, it's still very valuable and very expensive, but it's getting a little more reasonable where, it's like someone could spend some money to have their payload put into space, right? Would NASA ever consider almost like a civilian driven mission? This was something that one skeptic kind of suggested. It was like, if some sort of future Artemis mission could be like, people could submit in a form, what do you want them to do? Because
like a Mr. Beast application, like Streamer University, you guys need to send me to the moon. Think about the clips. Think about the clips. Think about how much that'll pop off.
People want to see, can NASA like do this? Because we really want to see if this is really real. Is that something that NASA would ever consider?
Well, I'll tell you, we try and do a lot.
Music's so distracting. Yeah, it is very unrelated.
A lot of like, citizen science initiatives and even almost kind of crowdsourcing ideas. We have done that in the past.
Stop. Now that you mention it, I can't stop focusing on the music. Oh my God. No, that just pissed me off.
I could absolutely see us doing that. I mean, if we're putting astronauts in and out of space with the frequency I would like to see, and you have lots more people living and working in space.
Not paying attention to a thing he's saying right now.
We should be soliciting ideas from the public on things they find of interest that we can add on as like a bonus objective to a mission. I'm all for that.
Bro, the music's great though. Just trumpets. Bro, that was an interesting interview though. Jack Gordon makes good ass videos. Chat, I have to piss real quick, and then we're gonna hop into the next one.